Okay, if it's always going to be a limited amount of time with someone, then your options in this planet, in this world, are either a little bit or nothing. A little bit is because, even 70 years is a short life. Adrienne is 45. But, even 100 years is a very short time. We just don't have people. We don't have ourselves with people very long. So there we are. If I wasn't going to have Adrienne to work with and to be with, for 30 years, but instead just a few years less than that, and if those are my only options, maybe a few is the contract that I took. Maybe that's the thing. It was like, the only gift that you really get to keep is the understanding that you're a spiritual person, which people refuse to believe, and that some people do, not everyone, obviously, and that you are here yourself for a short time. Make your life useful. Everything will pass. So your joy doesn't have to end because you only had someone for a short time. Your joy can continue if you realize that your time here is limited. You too will have to be leaving. You too will lose your facility with things in the world. How important is it that you and perhaps your ego got to feel recognition or importance, accomplishments, when in the end the only thing that really is going to matter are the accomplishments of what you can take with you. The karmic thing here is that people like Adrienne have affected my life profoundly. I'll see them somewhere else. So, being in this world, being in this little planet, that's all we can really kind of ask for, isn't it? I mean, that's all we can do here. Depending on what you want to do with your time, eventually that time is going to go away. And people you love are also going to go away. So part of what we do has to be the exercise of enjoying the little time we have here and the little time that we have with certain people. With Adrienne, I laughed a lot. We did so many wonderful things, and because she's not able to get up and this progressive tumor is not really going to be worked on very much. They can't operate on her, they can't do anything, The prognosis is really not very good in the last 2 weeks, and this is why I guess I'm here. She's lost the ability to walk, and she's lost the ability to stand up, or even to sit up, because she's also in constant pain of one kind or another. So I can be thankful for having known her, for having had her in my life. I was lucky. I mean, I'm sure, she had to work on things just like we all do. But just being with someone gives you that impression, that belief, that illusion, that life is okay. And there's not going to be any problem. She put my mind at ease so many times with things. She worked so hard to take care of stuff. She worked so hard to, you know, devote herself to whatever ideas or projects I had going on. And for me, my life is my work. Maybe my work from here on has to be the work of understanding the fleeting nature of things. You could be grateful for what you have. It's all going to be taken away. Well, you know, the universe is a place that's very conservative. Like, it conserves the energy of things, you know. Like, we can already tell, you know, like we've seen galaxies that are formed from the destruction of other galaxies. You know, you have things being sucked into a black hole, and then the black hole eventually pours itself out, and that energy, this jet stream of matter and, you know, and everything else, energy creates in turn something new. So this universe doesn't really ever take anything away. So why should we think that in our case the same doesn't apply? By the way, this is granite here, really beautiful. I don't know if I'll come back here, or I don't know if Adrienne will be alive when I come back here. You know, I don't know what condition I'll be in. I'm not that old, I feel pretty great, but I'm just saying, you know, anything can happen. This would be a good time to reflect on how grateful we need to really be for the little things that we have. You know, the recognition of other people is not really important in the end. Just being with someone you love, being with someone you care about, you know, is so important. And all it took was for her to just soothe me and to tell me, yeah, we'll do this, yeah, we'll take care of that, etc. And we'll just do it. And put my mind at ease in dealing with a lot of things. You know, and I probably didn't deserve to have my ego rewarded with some of the things that I was expecting should be done. She was very subservient always, like, okay, we'll make it work. That's a good idea. Yeah, let's do it. You know, and I was always like someone with a new creative concept or something, and I didn't have a huge company to make these things work, you know. For me, the worth in my own life is measured by what I can imagine, by what I can create. You know, I'm not someone who appreciates life as measured by the ability to just keep a process going, something that's already in place, and my job is to just keep it running. I really enjoy more, you know, going in and trying to create. And when people tell me that it's okay to create, then I create. I just want to do that, you know. And there really isn't much more I could have done. We did so many things in just like 6 years of work. I just, you know, I don't really know why I'm saying all this, other than that my heart is just so broken over this. But the only thing I can say is, like Leslie tells me, is like, I should be grateful. I should be thankful, and I think I am. I'm just so sad right now, but I'll take this lesson to heart and be as grateful and as thankful as I can be with these thoughts and with these memories and these experiences, because that's what I ended up taking. You know, if it's a finite number of experiences and a finite number of laughs, then, like the Bible says, teach us to count our days, you know. It's kind of sad, isn't it? That, you know, you can't live in this way infinitely when you spend so much time trying to find your own happiness, and then you get to a place where things are kind of the way you want. And then by that time, there's just not that much time left before something significant changes. But she gave me a gift. You know, I believe in reincarnation. I believe that I was here before and that we've been here before and we've met before. You know, I'll be somewhere. I'll be somewhere when I pass. I'll be somewhere else. And you'll be somewhere else. And maybe we'll meet at that moment if we haven't met now. And we may or may not remember this moment, you know. But there's a kind of odd feeling of memory from life to life, I think, if we go by hypnotic regressions and those readings from Edgar Cayce. You know, it was really, you know, true that people remember something of their past lives or whatever. And I guess I'm just a kind of a serious and thoughtful guy. It's not sure why I'm here, what it is that I'm supposed to do. I mean, I think I'm trying to do certain things, but I don't think I can boil my life down to one specific thing. So, you know, but I know that certainly probably the most vibrant professional chapter of my life, those 6 years from 2012 to 2018, as it were, you know, even like in January, whatever, already by that time we did so many cool things, published books, put out like 6 CDs of music or more, did a ton of filming, put out 1 feature-length documentary, and have others ready to almost go in different forms. And her mind is there. I just don't know how much I can, you know, there's hardly any internet out here. I'm not sure how much I can work with Adrienne, you know. But I was kind of hoping we'd be spending at least 20, 30 years doing this. You know, I already had somebody in my family who died of brain cancer, and it was a hard thing. You know, you have to say goodbye to people, but you also have to say goodbye to the past in some way. You have to say goodbye to experiences, not memories, but experiences. Experiences happen before you have them as memories. And then later you have the memories. And sometimes maybe the best way to deal with experiences that are past, that were wonderful and which you can't repeat, is to just have new experiences. Because if you don't, then those experiences become memories, and then you just end up living in the memories, spending so much time just remembering something that came and which went, and you can't relive it again. You know, we can't be nostalgic that way. It's too negative. It's too static. It's not, I think, what we're here to do. I think we're here to get a sense, a rustle, a feeling, an echo of ourselves as people who, as beings who can make some kind of impact in the world in some way. Even if it's a small impact, we just change things. We have to see ourselves creating stuff. Some people really want to build a house. Some people want to build a family, have children. Some people want to write a book. Some people want to become, recognized for some accomplishment. Everyone is just trying to do some stuff that they can look back at and say, I did it, I did this, you know. And, you know, and then there's other people who are just like reflective about what everybody else did. My friend Bill Gordon is one of the most reflective people I've ever known. I'm pretty reflective too, you know. I spend a lot of time thinking about the past as a cultural artifact and other artifacts of collective action, philosophers and things like this. I don't know how useful that is, but it seems to be a tendency that deepens us even further, because of course we're stuck in so many immediate modes of just, you know, following one's own impulses, that you could really forget that time has passed and it has left some treasures behind. So while we can reminisce and we can think about things collectively that way, we shouldn't be obsessive about what has passed and we can't do anything about it, because that's nostalgia. And I think nostalgia, at least for me personally, is kind of draining. You know, it gives me a lot of meaning about things, but at the same time it saps me of a lot of the energy, the focus and attention that I need to have on building and creating new things, because I'm just like everybody else. I'm trying to make an impact somehow in this world. As soon as I leave here tomorrow, Tuesday, when tomorrow's Monday, Tuesday I'll fly to Los Angeles. And really, I have no idea what is going to happen to my life, because I don't, now I feel like I'm not going to be able to resume too much on the same pathways that I had before with Adrienne. And the world additionally is very resistant and apathetic. And there's a lot of competition of ideas and energies between what you want and what everyone else wants. And other people have ideas that are easier to sell, and they're surrounded by greater resources and people supporting them and surrounding them and pushing their ideas around. So I might just end up having to write and just live a private life. You know, I was born in 1962. I'm 56 years old. Maybe this is what Montaigne did when he just decided to retreat from the world and write his reflections. And other people, St. Augustine had his confessions. I've never spoken to the present. Nothing I ever do really seems to have any resonance with people in the large here and their interests. I feel like the more technological and the more advanced we become, the more immature we become, because people lose the ability to reflect. They can push a button or make a move that's just a small thing on some device, etc., and they can just get themselves wherever they want, or get whatever information they feel like having, and it's not going to make any difference one way or the other. Whether they struggled hard to think about something or it was just actually retrieved by Google, it doesn't really much matter to them. So facts have a kind of, at that point, static flatness that doesn't really much lend itself to, the kinds of peaks and mountains of meaning that information used to represent, which is why we had information of the reflective kind, things like religious writing and poetry. You know, that's what we needed. But now, of course, it's all much more expository and journalistic. So it's like information content, you know, just punch it up on a search engine and you get what you want. But how do people use it? What does it mean to them? How do they put it together in their life, you know? How does it help them transform themselves from people who are stuck in the immediacy of their own goals to something that can be contextualized in a larger sense? Meaning is in the end the only thing we're probably going to have at the end. It's just not. I mean, facts just basically roll over each other at an astounding rate of speed, and having information doesn't almost seem to matter. You know, and I'm sitting here looking out toward the ocean. We're in kind of a cove here, and looking at the sky. And what information is there for this? None. My friends, Adrienne is in there. Tomorrow I'll have to say goodbye to her. Allow me to go back and just spend some last moments talking to her. She's still with us. I really am very grateful. Talk to you later.